Okay, for the next part, I want to show you how to use the last row and the cells function to input a set of data in the next empty row of a spreadsheet. So I've done a little bit of setup here. So we have the same exact kind of spreadsheet we had last time, where we have an employee ID and a name. And we want to have input boxes again, but rather than have them input to a range A2 and B2, we want to compute the last row and use our cells function to populate the next empty row. So 1 plus whatever the last row used was. So I'm going to go to my code here, and I'm going to define last row. I'm defining it as long since it's an integer value. I've already copied this formula from Canvas, so I've got my last row formula here. And now I can just simply copy the 2 lines above. But rather than have range A2 or B2, I'm going to use the cells function, which is similar to range, but uses a variable row and column numbers rather than fixed ranges. So for this spreadsheet, we're computing our last row. So since we want to put it in the next empty row, our row number is going to be last row plus 1. And the name is in column B, which is column 2. And I'll do the same thing for the employee ID. Last row plus 1, since we want to populate an empty row. Sometimes students just put last row in, and obviously it computes the last row, and then if you're writing to that, it would overwrite the contents that are currently there. So let's go ahead and test this. And it seems to be working.